Hey Libra, welcome to your mid-October reading. I'm going to look at your present and your past energies to see how we got to this point, this momentum, and see how you end October. Thank you for watching. This is a new channel, so if you're here, thank you so much. And let's see how October's going. Okay. Right, so you're currently sitting in the energy of the Page of Swords. So there may have been a lot of gossip around you, whether that be at work or within friendship groups or even within like partnerships. Um, I don't know why work stood out so much, but there seems to be a lot of gossip in the air and just people slamming one another. I don't know if that's the term people still use. But yeah, maybe a lot of miscommunications, a lot of petty arguments, and you're tired of it. Like that's what I just felt. Like goodness gracious, are we adults? Or are we not adults? But the energy that's coming through for the next 2 weeks is the Seven of Pentacles. So you're able to reap the hard work that you've been putting in, whether that be relationships or work or your dreams. And I see you reevaluating your goals and checking out to see what other options you have in order to grow and manifest new kinds of abundance, really. The best action to take is the Four of Pentacles reversed. And so what I think the best action for you to take right now is to actually drop down your guard a little bit, which may sound counterintuitive with all this petty gossip and arguments happening. Maybe this is actually saying, if you have a moment where you're vulnerable and you're speaking to, let's say, a coworker, for example, and uh, hopefully that moment of vulnerability will allow them to be vulnerable with you, and therefore you can come up with some sort of compromise and or negotiation, which I know Libras can be very charming and diplomatic when they want to be. So that could work in your favor. And I know there might be some sort of concern, like if you're vulnerable with someone, whether that be a partner or at work, there's a risk of that vulnerability being taken advantage of. But let me just say this. If that other person takes advantage of your vulnerability, that tells you a lot about who they are and not about yourself. Okay. So if they take advantage of that, I feel like that alone should tell you a time to leave this position or leave this relationship that no longer supports you and provides you with like a nurturing environment where you can grow and flourish, right? But that's my take on it. I'm going to see how the rest of these energies play out to see if that is, the best action to take. So distant past shows the Five of Cups. And that could be a grief where you had to let go of something that maybe you weren't ready to let go of. But a lot of aches and pains in a emotional situation where you may have done or said things that you regret, or maybe that was done to you where they regret how they treated you and they lost you. That could be, you moving on to a new company because said job didn't value you as you were there, rather than like when you left. Then also recent energies that show up is the Seven of Cups reversed in recent energies. So you've got 2 sevens here so far. With the Seven of Cups reversed, this may have been like illusions, or maybe you felt disillusioned in a job or relationship not playing out the way you wanted it to. It seems to be a running theme today because that came up a lot. Um, but a lot of maybe you made the wrong choice, because Seven of Cups is usually about different options available to you. But the problem with that is that within each cup, you don't know what's in it. So it may have been a bad choice that you made, or um, yeah, a bad choice that you made and possibly regret. And now you're thinking about what to do in that situation. Hmm. With the Four of Pentacles reversed as the best action then, and it's a if if this requires a moment of vulnerability, that moment of vulnerability could open a new opportunity then. But for now, the next 2 weeks are showing the world reverse. So you might be stuck in a cycle that you keep repeating because there's a lesson here that you haven't exactly learned yet. I'm not quite sure what that lesson is. That's something that would come to you once you realize what that pattern is. Like, do you have a pattern of making a certain type of choice? Um, I'm just going to give an example because it's the one that's coming to mind. Let's say you have changed partners. So it's a different person, like a different name, but same type of person. So you keep dating the same type of person over and over again, and the only thing that changes is their name. Um, that could be a cycle that you're in, or if it's not a partnership, so not a spouse or relationship, if this is a type of job that you're in, that you left one toxic company and then you started working for another, and it's the same BS, same petty arguments, and you're just so over it. um, really look at the patterns to see what is attracting you to these types of people or this type of job in the beginning, so you don't repeat that in the next cycle, because it looks like there's a next cycle that's beginning pretty soon. Your attitude is the Queen of Wands, so that someone's very passionate, very charismatic. Your attitude is, okay, I see this is a problem. This is how we can solve it as a team. That diplomat again, um, coming in with so much energy, and you're just, the Queen of Wands is busy, y'all. They don't have time for this. But she will have to make the time, because in the environment with the Queen of Swords here, so that's two queens now. The Queen of Swords is asking you to use your logic, be fair, be honest with the people in your environment, or maybe the women around you are asking you to lead because of the drama that's going on, that they think, you know what, she can do it. Or he, I don't know who's watching. Um, but yeah, that seems to be your environment and your attitude with these two queens here. So there's a lot of feminine energy. Maybe it's a case of where women are not empowering other women, because we were set to like be competitive with one another. I don't know. Maybe that's something you can look into. Another thing that may pop up is like if this is uh, a lesbian relationship, maybe if it's two female figures, or maybe two best friends, or I don't know. That seems to be what's popping up right now with the feminine energy coming up. Um, your hopes is the Three of Cups. So you do want community. You want, your friendships, your relationships to prosper, and, to celebrate your achievements together, and to have that strong community, that strong village and network. Um, to be joyful. That's what you're hoping for. So you're hoping that once you're vulnerable with someone and you work towards negotiating or coming up with some sort of compromise where everyone wins, because that would be ideal, right? You can work towards that Three of Cups energy where it's a community and you're celebrating each other's milestones and yeah, unbreakable. The end of October shows the Five of Wands, however, so just be aware that some small obstacles might pile on top of one another and that could become an annoyance. But remember, they're small. It's not like huge problems. It could be like maybe the printer runs out of ink, or maybe, someone forgot a doctor's appointment and they have to reschedule, something small that, but the thing is, they do pile on top of one another. So just be aware of anything that could pile up, or be aware of competition because this is usually a hunt. Um, a car that represents like a competitive hunt. So maybe you've got some competitors in your area. So if that's in terms of a job, you may be competing with different companies, different coworkers. Um, if this is a relationship, be aware of anyone who might try to interfere with your relationship because they see you as competition. So I hope this helps and thank you for watching and I take care. I'll see you next time.